is going to discuss how to make high-res print-ready PDFs for boxes and packaging in Adobe programs. As you can see, I'm in Illustrator right here, and I've already set up my file with the die line that was supplied by us. This is what the die line looks like. We supply both Illustrator, which is the .ai, and a PDF version of the same die line. This is what the die looks like in Illustrator. We will supply it with a die line layer that's locked. This is the die, and if you turn that off, you can see it, and then an art layer, and this is where you want to build your artwork. And I've already done that over here. This is the die line layer. This is the artwork layer. Now let's open the PDF. It's the same exact thing, so that if you don't want to work in Illustrator, you can work in InDesign. And you can also create the die layer. You'd have to import and place the die line at 100% size. Don't change the size. Don't change anything about the die line. Just place it as a link in a layer called die line. You can see here's the PDF link. And then also make an art layer and put your artwork in the InDesign file. And you can see this is the artwork layer. Okay, so you don't really want to build your file in Photoshop if you can avoid it. Photoshop can distort the die line easily. It might rasterize the die line as well, which means we can't get it out of the file and it will print. So you want to stick with vector-based programs like InDesign and Illustrator whenever possible. Let's talk about links. As you can see, this is all the links right here for this file. This one is logo 1, and if you go to links palette, select the logo and spill the link info, you can see the color space is RGB. We prefer all artwork to be in CMYK because we print in cyan, magenta, yellow, and black inks. RGB can be brighter color-wise looking than CMYK, and when our RIP converts all artwork, whether it's RGB, Pantone, any other color space, into CMYK automatically, some people don't like the way their RGB images become a little duller looking in CMYK. So our recommendation is open up the links, convert your file to CMYK, make any color adjustments, and then relink your file, and then the printed piece will look more like the PDF you supplied us, as opposed to a duller looking colors. Let's see. This also, you can see the actual DPI is 300, that's the original file, but the effective DPI is 150 because it's been placed at 200% enlargement, effectively making this logo low res. Anything below 300 DPI is considered low res. Now you see here on the margins, I have the same logo, but it's already been converted to CMYK, and it's 300 DPI, placed at 300%. So this is a high-res CMYK logo, and this is a low-res RGB logo. So I'm going to replace this one with the high-res CMYK logo. And there we go. You can double check that if you want to. Click on it, show links, CMYK, 300 DPI. I'm going to save that. And then in Illustrator, the same exact thing applies. Here's the links palette in Illustrator. Here's my logo. You spill the link info. You can see this is RGB and it's 150 DPI. So it's low res. So we want to take this out, and this logo is CMYK and it's 300 DPI. So it's a good logo. Let's see, 475 by 3. I want to make sure I place it in the correct position. So now the logo that's in the file is CMYK and high res, so that's good. You can also see this has extra bleed, which is okay. If you have images, artwork, background colors that bleeds to the edge, you can bleed it all the way off. That's totally fine, just not where the glue goes. Anywhere else on the page and in the die can have artwork. Okay. So now we're going to export print ready PDF. Well, in Illustrator, you hit File, Save As, Not save a copy. Save as. There we go. Okay, I'm going to save mine to the desktop. And the format you want is Adobe PDF. And you click Save. I already had one there, so I'm going to replace it. You want to choose PDF X4 2008. It comes preloaded in all Adobe applications. That's the best option to use. As you can see, there's also high quality print, press quality. Those are not nearly as good as this one. Try to stay with using this option, PDF X4 2008. And then these are all the settings that come with that preset. There is only one area we need to change, and that's Marks and Bleeds tab. Under the bleeds, you need to add 1/8 of an inch to all 4 sides. If you do not add it here, even though you have it in your file, it will not come out on the PDF. So it's very important to make sure you add the bleeds. Do not add any marks. We don't need these. We don't want these. Just bleeds only. So let's click Save. And the file has been saved to the desktop. And this is what the file looks like. Now this is Acrobat. I opened my Output Preview palette, and you can see the lines for the die line are a little dark looking because I have Simulate Overprint showing. If you turn that off, you can see the die line lines, the scores, and the cuts. And you'll notice in this palette, here's all the colors of the file. The die line color and the crease color, which is the scores. If I put Simulate Overprint back on and I turn these off, you can see they're not going to have white knockout anywhere. This is what your artwork will print like, and then we will use these lines to create the cuts. So it's important that you give us the file with the die line in it, but make sure it stays in vector format and doesn't get rasterized in Photoshop. You can see, let me turn the Simulate Overprint off for a second. You can see we have our bleed. It's all good. It's all good. This one's an easy design. Now let's go into InDesign and let's export a PDF in InDesign. You want to choose wherever you want to save it. Make sure you choose Adobe PDF Print. Click Save. I already had one. Again, PDF X4 2008 comes preloaded in all applications. Make sure you export as single pages, not spreads. And again, we go to the Marks and Bleeds tab, and we add 1/8 of an inch bleed to all 4 fields. Do not add crops, bleeds, registration, etc. Without these 4 fields filled in with bleed, the bleed here would not come out. It would just stop right at the edge of the die line here, and there would be no bleed, but we need 1/8 of an inch bleed on all 4 sides. So again, PDF X4, it says modified because we changed the bleed. Single pages, 1/8 inch bleed. I'm going to export that. There it goes. There it is. And you can see this is the same thing. This is from InDesign, and this is from Illustrator. And you can see they look very much the same. Same thing, crease, die line color. No matter which program you choose to use for creating boxes, Illustrator or InDesign, they will come out the same if you follow these steps. Again, try not to use Photoshop. The results are not great, and we can't fix anything. We can't remove die lines from Photoshop because it's a raster program. We can only remove the die lines when we print from vector programs like InDesign and Illustrator. And now you have 2 options to upload as your print ready PDF.